Dio Revered Swami Vivekananda Maharaj, respected elders and sisters and brothers, Om Namo Narayanaya. On behalf of our President, revered Swami Vivekananda Maharaj, and the Ramakrishna Center of South Africa, I welcome you all to this evening's online satsang in commemoration of the 158th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. One cannot hope for a better friend, philosopher, and guide than Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji's words of courage, faith, and strength are much needed in the world today. Swami Vivekananda's standing message to all youth is summed up in his clarion call, couched on the resounding words, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." Vivekananda's profundity should serve as the pilot light in our lives, inspiring us in all we do. And as youth of today, we should see ourselves as none other than the heirs of the Vivekananda legacy. I now respectfully invite revered Swami Vivekananda to deliver the discourse entitled Swami Vivekananda, the perennial source of inspiration for the youth. Revered Maharaj.
Om Paratatte Sadalino Ramakrishna Samagaya Yo Dharmasthapanarato Bire Shantang Namamaham. Om peace, peace, peace. Om Namo Narayana, dear devotees. I must express my thanks and gratitude for getting this chance given to me to be connected with you all through this online session program on the occasion of Swamiji's birth anniversary. And wonderful topic is there. Just now the anchor was telling that Swamiji was the friend, philosopher, and guide of one and all, particularly for the youngsters, for the youth. So my topic is Swami Vivekananda, the perennial source of inspiration for the youth. What is Swami Vivekananda's message to the youth? Why youth will be attracted to follow Swami Vivekananda? There are certain traits in the young generation's character. And Swamiji also had wonderful love and sympathy and trust on the youth. Swamiji's wonderful words. He had tremendous faith in the youth of the whole world, particularly of India. He said, my faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers. They will work out the whole problem like lions. You just see what a language, tribute given to the youngsters, trusting them from the core of his heart. And there is a trait amongst the youths also. Youths are idealistic. They are hero worshippers. They follow their leader with the conviction that the leader will show them the right path and the leader will help them reach the destination, reach the goal, be it material or spiritual. And Swamiji said, I am born to inspire people everywhere. Even if I may find it is better to get out of this body, get rid of this body like a torn garments. But I shall not cease to inspire people everywhere. And so, Swami Vivekananda's words, his life, his wonderful personality, everything, from all points of view, Swami Vivekananda is the perennial source of inspiration, the ideal, the role model, the universal icon for one and all, particularly for the youngsters, because youngsters are hero worshippers. They want somebody whom they can completely 100% depend on, trust on. And Swamiji played that role for the last more than 1 century, and it will continue for the centuries to come. This one Professor A.L. Basham from Houston University, he was telling in 1963 in the meeting of Swamiji's centenary meeting, he was telling it is not the time to evaluate the contribution of Swami Vivekananda because he has just passed away in 1902 and it is 63. His influence has not, cannot be gauged, cannot be evaluated, measured within this short span of time. Such a person needs to be evaluated after centuries. So, but it can be said that he was one of the architects of the modern world, particularly the modern India and the world, because this Swami Vivekananda's message of this gospel of divinity, universal brotherhood, harmony of religions, and his message of self-confidence, self-esteem, strength, concentration of mind, hope, positivity, self-faith, patriotism, love for the humanity. All these things are really the very attractive for the youngsters. So today it is a wonderful time, and I will just quote Roma Rolla, who said, I cannot, and I quote, I cannot touch these sayings of his scattered as they are through the pages of books at 30 years distance without receiving a thrill through my body like an electric shock. And what shocks, what transport must have been produced when in burning words they issued from the lips of the hero. As I told you, the youngsters are hero worshippers. And Swami Vivekananda was the hero in the real sense of the term. In his life, Swami Vivekananda's life, written by Romarola, the French Nobel laureate, he said, he wrote, Vivekananda was an energy personified, and action was his message to men. For him, as for Beethoven, it was the root of all the virtues. This message, action, manliness. So his preeminent characteristic was kingliness. He was a born king, and nobody ever came near him, either in India or America, without paying homage to his majesty. See the words, very specially chosen for Swamiji, such a Nobel laureate. He got Nobel Prize in literature, the French savant and philosopher. When this quite unknown young man of 30 appeared in Chicago at the inaugural meeting of the Parliament of Religions, opened in September 1893 by Cardinal Gibbons, all his fellow members were forgotten in his commanding presence. His strength and beauty, see the description of a Christian man, of a person who did not see him. But after 30 years of his deliverance of that lecture and his disappearance, after 20 years of his disappearance, giving up the body, this mortal coil, this man writes, his strength and beauty, the grace and dignity of his bearing, the dark light of his eyes, his imposing appearance, and from the moment he began to speak, the splendid music of his rich, deep voice enthralled the vast audience of American Anglo-Saxons previously prejudiced against him on account of his color. We know racism. We know this color distinction. Oh God, in those days also it was there. The thought of this warrior prophet of India left a deep mark upon the United States. He was just a 30 years old young man at that time. It was impossible to imagine him in the second place. Wherever he went, he was the first. Everybody recognized in him at sight the leader, the anointed of God, the man marked with the stamp of the power to command, a traveler who crossed his path in the Himalayas without knowing who was, stuffed in amazement and cried, Shiva, Shiva, saying Vivekananda. A traveler who crossed his path in the Himalayas without knowing who he was, stopped in amazement and shouted, cried, Shiva, Shiva. So he was less than 40 years of age when the athlete lay stretched upon the pyre. So wonderful words of homage offered by no less than the Nobel laureate, Mr. Romarola. Mahatma Gandhi ji, what he says, he said, yes, I loved my country, but after going through his works, Swami Vivekananda's works, my love for India, my love for my motherland has become thousandfold. And you youngsters, whoever have come here, he was telling in 1921 at Belur Math to the mob present there, this people, particularly youngsters, gathering around him. He was telling, since you have come here, you are asking me to deliver a lecture. Have I come here to deliver lecture in Belur Math? This is the holy place where he stayed, where he lived, where he gave up his body, breathed his last. So since you have come here, please try to take with you something of the spirit that he lived in. So he lived for. So that was the Mahatma Gandhi's words. Rabindranath Tagore says, study Vivekananda, in him everything is positive and nothing negative. Wonderful words. So each and every one giving the all famous people, they are giving their best homage, paying their homage with best words, most appropriate words to this monk, Swami Vivekananda. And I would like to quote Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose also. Subhash Chandra Bose says that, yes, I was confused, as the youths generally become. I was at the crossroad. I was in doubt what to do and what not to do. Swami Vivekananda also suffered for that, and he went to Ramakrishna and said, yes, I have the confusion, I have the doubt. Is God there? Have you seen God? Is there anything that can be called God? And after meeting Sri Ramakrishna, having his touch, everything has gone. And he also got that power from his guru, that anybody came in touch with him, nobody could think that they were not benefited mentally, spiritually, intellectually. This lady, his disciple come friend, Miss MacLeod, she had acquaintance with all the queens and kings and jars of this jar of Russia. At that time, it was not liberated, so it was the rule of under the jar. So he used to meet the French emperor, the Tsar of Russia, the kings and queens of European kingdoms. So she was a very aristocratic American lady, and she said that when I met Tsar of Russia, I found, oh God, how small I am and how regal, how big this man is. But after meeting Vivekananda, I found, oh God, what a man. Nobody feels that I am losing anything. Rather, the power of Vivekananda enters into the person who comes in contact with him. So after meeting Vivekananda, I have found my strength. So that was the Josephine MacLeod's words. Sister Nivedita, Sister Christine, all said, we could not think of Swamiji anywhere to be the second, to be the next to anybody else. When Vivekananda is there, each and everyone's attention would be drawn to him. And how blessed are they who sat at his feet and got direct instructions. But we are also blessed that his works are scattered in his 10 volumes, complete works. Anybody and everybody can go through it and have the benefit. And that is what the world, all over the world, youngsters are doing. They are getting interested in. This Rabindranath Tagore says, I call this is the message. A few recently that Swamiji came, Vivekananda, whatever he said, following his words, our youngsters sacrificed their lives. They became ready to give up, to dedicate their own lives even. That is called message. So, you see, Mahatma Gandhi ji, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was telling that I was in crossroad. And when I read Swami Vivekananda, whole night I went through that book. I have gone through that book, and when I read, I understood, yes, I have got the direction of my life. There is no more confusion, no more doubt, no standing at the crossroad. Now it is to go forward. Charaiveti, as Swamiji always quoted, that why I quote from the Upanishad, from the Vedanta, because Vedanta speaks of, teaches, Vedanta teaches the message of the gospel of strength. Go forward, have faith in yourself. So wonderful ideas are there, and youngsters are very attracted to such personality. And today it is a as I have said, we are fortunate, we are blessed that we have come to the feet of, to take our shelter at the feet of Swami Vivekananda, who is our guide. And we will not be misguided, we will not be misled. We must reach the goal. We shall overcome whatever, what come, what may, but we must overcome. So Swamiji also had wonderful, um, uh, wonderful trust. He put his faith on the youth of India to work out his plan for the regeneration of the country. He wrote to his young followers in Madras from America. He wrote, and I quote, "Trust not to the so-called rich. They are more dead than alive. The hope lies in you, in the meek, the lowly, but the faithful. Have faith in the Lord. No policy is no policy. It is nothing. Feel for the miserable and look up for help. It shall come." I have traveled 12 years with this load in my heart and this idea in my head. I have gone from door to door of the so-called rich and great. With a bleeding heart, I have crossed half the world to this strange land, seeking for help. The Lord is great. I know he will help me. I may perish of cold or hunger in this land, but I bequeath to you, young men, this sympathy, this struggle for the poor, the ignorant, the oppressed. So wonderful the statement, a responsibility given by Swami Vivekananda to the youngsters. And Swamiji's words, as I told, people living, working in any field of life can be benefited. Hindu, Muslim, Buddha, Christian, Jain, Parsi, Jews. There is no question of, no distinction of, no bar of any caste, color, creed, religion, land. Each and every one can be benefited, drawing inspiration from his life and teachings, because those words are universal. As I have said, that Swami Vivekananda message was the divinity, gospel of divinity. You are divine. Swamiji is telling, don't blame others. Take the whole responsibility on your own shoulder. You are the maker of your destiny. Have faith in yourself, self-confidence, self-esteem. All power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in my words. Never think that you are weak. Stand up and express the divinity within. What is religion? The religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. Express your divinity within by karma, by jnana, by bhakti, by yoga, by one or two or all of them. But do it. Have faith in yourselves. Life is not for the lazy people. And he says, wonderful ideas by Swami Vivekananda. And I tell a story. When Swamiji was in Calcutta, and one young man one day came to meet Swamiji, and he told Swamiji, I frequent various sects but cannot decide what is truth. And he confessed that he had experimented with various religious doctrines but did not find peace of mind. Sir, still I sit in meditation, shutting the door of my room and closing my eyes as long as I can, but I cannot find peace of mind. Can you show me the way? So Swamiji replied to this young man, my boy, and I quote, my boy, if you take my word, you will first of all have to open the door of your room and look around instead of closing your eyes. There are hundreds of poor and helpless people in the neighborhood of your house. Them you have to serve to the best of your ability. He who is ill and has no one to look after him, for him you will have to get medicine and diet and nurse him. He who has nothing to eat, you will have to feed him. He who is ignorant, you will have to teach him. Well educated as you are, my advice to you is that if you want peace of mind, you have to serve others in this way as well as you can. So he was telling that 90% of human brutes you see are dead, are ghosts. For none lives, my boys, but he who loves. Feel, my children, feel for the poor, the ignorant, the downtrodden, feel till the heart stops and the brain reels and you think you will go mad. Have fire and spread all over. Work, be the servant while leading. Be unselfish and never listen to one friend in private accusing another. Have infinite patience and success is yours. Work, for to work only for the good of others is life. I want that there should be no hypocrisy, no Jesuitism, no roguery. There is no distinction of sex in the soul. We want thousands of men and thousands of women who will spread like wildfire from the Himalayas to Cape Comorin, from the North Pole to the South Pole, all over the world. It is no use indulging in child's play, neither is there time for it. Let those who have come for child's play be off now while there is time, or they will surely come to grief. We want an organization off with laziness, spread. Wonderful ideas. Idea of service to man is service to God. Shivogyane Jivo Seva. What a wonderful motto he has kept for the Ramakrishna mission. He has chosen Atmanamokshartham Jagat Hitayacha. Who will do Swamiji's work? The youngsters. That is why all over the globe we find the young people are coming forward and trying to get joy in their lives by doing good to others. Because Swamiji said, that is the way. If you want to have peace in your own mind, then bring smile in others' faces. Bring joy to others. That is the secret. If you want to enjoy joy yourself, then share it with others. Bring joy in the lives of others who are suffering, to the underprivileged, to the afflicted, to the downtrodden, to the needy, to the poor. So, wonderful ideas, encouraging, inspiring all over the world. And we know whoever came in touch of him through personally, physically, or through his words, through his lectures, through his letters, all are source of inspiration, perennial source of inspiration. Everything, his life itself, his words, his lectures, his letters, his activities, his behavior, from each and everything people can learn. So I will not continue. I will conclude because there is no time and there is no end of talking about Swamiji. Lev Tolstoy, the Russian servant, was translating his Raja Yoga and other things into Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga books into Russian. And his friends were asking, why you are doing this at this old age? What is that? Oh God, wonderful ideas. I want to serve my country. Russia was under the rule of Tsar at that time. Our Russian people do not know English, so these lectures are in English. So I am translating in all these things into Russian so that our Russian youngsters can read, go through it, and have the fire of patriotism, get the inspiration to serve their country. And you see, after that, the Russia became liberated from the shackle of rule of Tsar. So people here in India, in Africa, in America, in Europe, Asia, everywhere, whoever reads Vivekananda gets that electric shock. So the Swami Vivekananda is the perennial source of inspiration, particularly for the youngsters. Today is Rishi Aurobindo, another one. He said, this going forth of Swami Vivekananda to the United States, it is just the beginning. Now people has known that India is awakened, not only awakened, it is now going to win over the whole world. And Swamiji said, Bharat abar jagat sabhay shreshto asan labe. India will have its seat at the top of the all nations. How? Through this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, through its gentleness, through its purity, through its love, through its compassion, through its sticking to the truthfulness. This our Indian Prime Minister is telling you, India will not have the medicine only for Indians. That is the Indian spirit. Swami Vivekananda spoke. When Swami Vivekananda again and again was being requested by his brother disciples and devotees from India, please come. The Killa Fateh, we have already become victorious. So you have blown the parliament of religions. So come back to India. Swamiji was telling, can only India have the right on me? No. As I belong to India, so much as I belong to India, so much I belong to the whole world. One person asked him, Swamiji, what is your religion? Then Swamiji said, truth is my religion and universe my country. He came for the whole world. So he is inspiring people everywhere in all fields of life. And it is our privilege to be benefited, to get the benefit, to draw the inspiration from his life and teachings, and by following his footsteps, by trying to realizing his dreams to be materialized through our lives and activities, we will make our lives joyful, blissful, successful, and worth living. So I pray to Swamiji to bless us all on this very particular day, to inspire. As he has already said, I shall not cease to inspire people everywhere until the world knows that it is one with God. So let it happen in our lives. And with this pranams, I conclude. Om Namah Sri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Surai Satchit Sukha Sarupaya Swamine Tapohadine Hari Om Tat Sat.
Om, page 154, Shri Guru Stavastukam.
Guru Deva Daya
Om Namo Narayanaya. Thank you, revered Maharaj, for Maharaj's most enlightening discourse. In today's stormy seas, we as devotees find moments of shelter in Maharaj's spiritual words. Thank you to all devotees for joining us this evening. Kindly take note of the following announcements. The center's weekly digital satsang will be posted onto the various WhatsApp groups this Saturday. The center's weekly online satsang will continue next week, Tuesday. Kindly note that the center will be expanding its digital presence, and a recording of the online satsang will now also be available on the center's YouTube page. Finally, let us remember the following words of Swami Vivekananda: neither money pays, nor fame, nor name, nor learning. It is character that can cleave through adamantine walls of difficulties. Once again, thank you and stay safe. Hari Om Tat Sat.